All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to begin by giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the head apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Shalom to all you brothers that's continuing to labor in his work, pushing out this gospel in all true faith and sincerity, and pushing out the names of Yahweh, Yahweh Shai, which, by the way, are the true names of the Heavenly Father and his only begotten Son. All right? Yahweh being the true name of the Heavenly Father, who you people refer to as God, and his beloved Son, whom the world ignorantly called Jesus Christ, which in the ancient Hebrew tongue, his name is properly pronounced Yahweh Shai, all right? So, I just want to get into a quick lesson dealing with the solar eclipse that's on the horizon, which we're closing in on what these people refer to as a phenomenon, which is bigger than what a lot of people viewing this, all right? You got a lot of people that's going to come and look at this as as a spectacle or something to gaze up into the heavens, get with the family and look at it as if it's something to gloss over. But we here in the know, those who understand, the prophecies in the Bible, we understand that this is a sign and a wonder from the Heavenly Father, which pretty much is foreshadowing the destruction of America, ultimately, all right? But before America is destroyed, all hell is going to break loose out here in America. All right, it's going to be chaos, complete anarchy that's going to come here on the soils of America. And again, this solar eclipse is a sign from the Heavenly Father that tribulation is on the horizon here in America, because this solar eclipse will only be seen here in America, which is a sign in itself, all right? Which proves that America is Babylon the Great, which is spoken of in Revelation, the 18th chapter, Jeremiah, the 50th chapter, the 51st chapter, all right, Isaiah, the 13th chapter, and different scriptures in the Bible which speaks of Babylon. Well, when you see that word Babylon, you go to the Hebrew word for Babylon. It goes back to Babal, which means confusion, which pretty much is dealing with America, because you got a lot of people who would like to refute that idea that America is found in the Bible. Well, what you got to realize that the Bible is a dark, hidden book of parables. So you're not going to see the word America in the Bible, all right? First and foremost. But that does not mean America is not recorded in the Bible, man. All right? And which, by the way, when you go into that word America, it means bitter. And we coming into the times where you people is going to see why that name means bitter. Because you people is about to have your staff and your stay taken away from you, man. And real quick, before I really get into this lesson, I want to make mention of another thing, which the Spirit had, where I brought this out at camp Saturday, where you got a lot of experts that's saying this eclipse, can potentially do harm to the power grids out here in America, man. Meaning that all the power can go out, throughout the landscape of America. Now, that remains to be seen, but it's a possibility, man. Nevertheless, things are about to change here in America. The America as you know it is not about to be the same. And this eclipse is a sign from the Heavenly Father that's foreshadowing that, or should I say an omen of the things that's about to take place here in America. So with that, I want to jump right into it. Start off in the book of Genesis, chapter 1 and verse 14. And the Most High said, "Let there be lights in the firmament of the heaven to divide the day from the night, and let them be for signs and for seasons and for days and for years." Yes, so the moon, the stars, and the certain things that take place in the heavens pretty much dictate what's going to happen on earth. And if you do any research like on the full moon, all type of information comes out, dealing with what happens on the earth when there's a full moon. All right, like a lot of the hideous murders and crimes that's been committed in history, and when people just actually behave strangely, where it all occurs during a full moon. All right. So that's more proof that the things that happen in heaven dictate what's going to happen on earth. And this solar eclipse is no different. All right, we here in the know, us that understand the prophecies concerning the scriptures, we understand that this eclipse is not nothing just to take, for entertainment, something that a lot of people is going to look at as a spectacle, something to gaze up into the sky, But we here who understand these scriptures, you know, in the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah, we understand that the Lord is about to get ready to bring all sorts of tribulation, you know, trouble and all these perils that's on the horizon. It's coming soon, man. And that solar eclipse is a sign of that. You got a lot of people like at NASA and these different scientists, they would have you think, or they conditioning a lot of people to believe that this is just an event that happened every so years, you know, and there's nothing behind it. Well, that's not the case. This is the book of Matthew, chapter 16. I will start at the top, all right? The point is in the 3rd verse. It says, the Pharisees also with the Sadducees came and tempting desired him that he would show them a sign from heaven. He answered and said unto them, when it is evening, ye say, it will be fair weather, for the sky is red. And in the morning it will be foul weather today, for the sky is red and lowering. O ye hypocrites, ye can discern the face of the sky, but can ye not discern the signs of the times? And that's pretty much the majority of you people out here in America, all right? You can look up and see that it's a cloudy day, and you can pretty much come to the conclusion that it's going to rain, you know? And that's the same with a lot of you people that's considering this eclipse. You looking at it as if, you know, technically the moon just passing by the sun, as if it's, you know, just a coincidence, all right? But you can't discern the signs of the times. You can't discern that this is a sign that the Heavenly Father is pretty much getting ready to take America out, man. All right? This is 2nd Ezra, chapter 16, starting at verse 18. The beginning of sorrows and great mournings, the beginning of famine and great death, the beginning of wars, and the power shall stand in fear, the beginning of evils. What shall I do when these evils shall come? Yeah, and this is on the horizon, man. This solar eclipse is about to be that domino effect, if you will, that's going to set off a sequence of events that's going to bring all type of chaos and anarchy to the soils of America, man. All right, the scriptures say the beginning of evils. And what shall I do when these evils shall come? And when you go into that word evil, it's a compound word, Eve meaning time, and ill meaning bad. So we are about to behold bad times here in America, because America pretty much has, these Americans as a whole, has dwelt at ease. But the Heavenly Father is getting ready to take that staff and that stay and that comfortable, you know, way of life, that outlook, that spoiled mentality away from you Americans, man. All right? Because the Lord is ultimately going to destroy America, thus said the Bible. But it's not going to just be an abrupt destruction, man. You know, the Lord is going to methodically and surgically take this place out. All right? Verse 19, behold, famine and plagues, tribulation and anguish are sent as scourges for amendment. But for all these things they shall not turn from their wickedness, nor be always mindful of the scourges. Yeah, which pretty much means when certain things happen, a lot of you people is going to still pray to that name, Jesus and God. So that means you're not going to be mindful of where it's coming from, all right? Verse 21, behold, victuals shall be so good cheap upon earth that they shall think themselves to be in good case, and even then shall evils grow upon earth, sword, famine, and great confusion. Yeah, and right now you see that victuals being so good cheap. You got people that can go to McDonald's and Burger King and get $1 burger, or the gas right now is low. So they think they're in good case. But even then, you know, that sudden disaster is going to come. And the Heavenly Father, being fair and just is pretty much showing you a sign. And we're closing up on that sign. When that eclipse happened, all hell is going to break loose out here in America, man. Complete chaos, all right? Verse 22, for many of them that dwell upon earth shall perish of famine, and the other that escape the hunger shall the sword destroy. Right, so here in the very near future, people is gonna die of famine, man. It don't take but 48 hours for you spoiled Americans to feel the effects of not eating, man. And if you escape that, you're gonna die from the sword, which means all the insurrection, you know, and the sedition among these people, they're gonna kill you, man. It's gonna be race riots out here, class wars, all right? Verse 23, and the dead shall be cast out as dung. And when you go into that word dung, it pretty much means shit, man. All right? You're going to be dead. You're going to be stepping over dead bodies. See, the Most High is getting ready to bring you Americans out of that comfortable state. All right? You're going to get this big reality check in the near future. And there shall be no man to comfort them, for the earth shall be wasted, and the city shall be cast down. That's right. So when the scriptures say no man is going to be there to comfort them, it's not going to be nobody to bury you. It's not going to be a proper funeral for you people, man. You're going to just be cast out in the street. And we're approaching those times, all right? And a lot of these are people that might come across this video, pretty much people that have been in America too long. This is foreign to you. You might scoff at the notion of this and you might thumb your nose up at this. But who cares, man? It's going to happen, all right? This is Daniel chapter 12, starting at verse 1. And at that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince, which standeth for the children of thy people. And there shall be a time of trouble, such as never was since there was a nation, even to that same time. So the time we're approaching, all right, which, by the way, this solar eclipse is pretty much a sign of the things or the times that's on the horizon. Well, the scriptures say that there shall be a time of trouble such as never been since there was a nation, man. Meaning it's nothing, no point in history you can compare to what's about to happen here in America. All right? The things that's about to happen here in America, it's not going to be nothing you can compare to this. All right? Like 70 AD, or even the time when we came over here in slave ships. None of that is going to compare to what's about to happen here in America, man. It says, and at that time thy people shall be delivered, every one that shall be found written in a book. And again, this is dealing with a righteous number of men that's reserved, a select number that's going to be reserved from the times that we approaching. All right? So once again, this eclipse that's about to happen here in America is pretty much symbolic or a sign for the things that's about to take place here in America, man. All right? This is Revelation 18:7. How much she have glorified herself and lived deliciously, so much torment and sorrow give her. And this her is dealing with America. Because this place have glorified herself, man, and lived deliciously, man. Even among the poor, even the poor in this country is proud, man. All right? Everybody is chasing ghosts, man, so to speak. They chasing the American dream. All right? It says, how much she have glorified herself and lived deliciously, so much torment and sorrow give her. And that's what's going to happen. All the luxuries of America are going to be replaced by torment and sorrow. And once again, I must make mention that there's a lot of experts saying that this eclipse could very well bring a power outage. And the power is the life source of America. That's really the real reason why you got Americans fighting over that oil, because oil produces power, man. That's how you got lights in your house. So once the power go out here in America, the gloves is off, all right? For she have said in her heart, I sit a queen and am no widow, and shall see no sorrow. Therefore shall her plagues come in one day, death and mourning and famine. Yeah, and this eclipse is going to be a one-day event, man. After this eclipse, all hell going to break loose, all right? And she shall be utterly burned with fire, for strong is the Lord power who judgeth her. Yeah, so ultimately, her fate will be when those nuclear missiles come, all right? So yeah, that's pretty much it. We are in some serious, dangerous, yet beautiful times, all right? And when I say beautiful, beautiful for the men who are hastening for this place to be destroyed, so we might be delivered and we can inherit the kingdom of heaven, all right? So with that, shalom.